So there's 5 elements. So the first element is reset,
Yes. And then it's dream.
collaborate,
And then we get clear.
and take action.
Of course. So let's do that. Should we start with the first one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So let me ask you, why reset?
Why reset? You know, for me, I get overwhelmed pretty quickly, especially living in a big city like Paris. I'm reacting all the time
Yeah.
and I'm really feeling overwhelmed. So I need to get out. I need to get out and just leave everything behind and be by myself.
It's like having a fresh mind.
Yeah, totally. Like when I reset myself, I really try to get clear and just be by myself, like getting in touch with this inner voice again.
Yeah, true. Because I think in everyday life, you are so confronted with the task list, and you always
Yeah.
feel you need to be productive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this kind of like you're just surviving.
Oh,
So
I hate this feeling.
when I reset, I'm really taking a step back and try to see the bigger picture.
And I think it kind of leads us to the second element, dreaming, right? Having this space, like able to step back, it allow you to also dream about possibility, think big.
Yeah, exactly. So once I have this space and I resetted myself, so to say, I start to grab the possibilities again. You know, I start to see the possibilities
Yes.
again and have ideas.
Yeah, and then you don't see life as what you should do, but what you can achieve or what is possible.
Exactly. It's not about surviving and being in this limited space of having to do something, but really taking the decision or choosing.
Finding new horizons.
Yeah, like choosing to do something and like seeing, oh, there are so many possibilities. And
But do you sometimes get overwhelmed? Like, you know, okay, now we have so many ideas, and you got overstimulated by your own ideas too?
I think this is more like you.
Yeah.
Could you tell something about it?
Yeah, actually, I remember when I started co-happening was because I feel, okay, I have many things I want to do,
Yeah.
and I really don't have people around to do it with me. And I think for
Yeah,
me,
what did you do?
I think I do need people to help me to kind of understand what my ideas is about, and then kind of do it with me. I like to join forces, you know, to make something bigger, something reality. Hold me accountable too.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because when we work together, it's actually super funny because you come always up with so many ideas, and then I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, and it's cool because when you challenge me, it kind of allow me to feel, okay, now I need to decide. Sometimes I'm not able to decide which ideas I want. And I think this is the beauty about collaboration, because I think we mirror each other, and by seeing the differences, then you know your strength and also maybe your weakness, so you can ask for help.
Yes, exactly. So it's really funny because then we bounce ideas back and forth, and then it's so nice because one person has an idea and then the other one has another idea, and you know, it's always triggering ideas, and then we find a way to work together. But Carrie, what do you think is the most important part of collaboration in general?
I think it's not easy, to be honest. I think you know, you have to trust, and trust is something, it's really abstract, and it's hard to say, okay, I have it or you don't. So what I find is the trick is actually to be able to communicate in a deeper level, to understand each other's visions about life. Because sometimes when you just talk about an idea or a task, of course you can do exchange, you can help each other, but if you're never able to communicate in exactly what you want or your why, it's hard to build the trust and find the synergy with your collaborators.
Yeah, I think this is what happened to us when we were discussing the retreat for the first time. It was like, oh yeah, I have this idea, and I have this idea, and then we were actually
combining, right?
Yeah.
Instead of do two small projects, why not make it into one?
Yeah, and we were discussing how we could do it together, and then we were starting to work together, and
it's kind of like co-creation.
I think we found this trust, kind of like, although you're interrupting me all the time.
thinking.
But it's fine.
Yeah, like exactly. So now I learned that I can interrupt people, and then maybe I can now change my style of working.
Yeah, you can change the style of interrupting. So yeah, I think it leads us to the next topic. So
Get clear.
Get clear, yeah. So okay, just summarize shortly. So we find the ground to set the reset button to dream, and then we work together. And then how do we get clear?
Yeah, I think get clear is a very important process, because it's not only about introspecting, but it's also like using both your dreaming time to think a lot of possibility, and also the challenges that maybe your collaborators post for you, and then we are like, okay, exactly what do I want to do, what type of action that I want to take.
Yeah, so actually, when I try to get clear, as I do in the resetting part, I also take a step back, and I always try to see the bigger picture. So I really visualize what we were talking about, what we were dreaming about, and then I connect the dots, kind of like, and then it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. And
so it's like mapping it out.
Yeah, it's mapping it out, and then usually we would do the action plan and then just go.
So I guess you are getting to the last point already. Taking
Exactly.
action.
It's taking action.
Yeah.
So what is the next action to do?
Well, we're
Going to Brazil. Awesome. Let's go.
Let's go.
It was good.